Okay, we're in report from Iron Mountain, and I'm going to combine the statement by John Doe and also the letter of Transmittal together in the same video because they're kind of short. Statement by John Doe. Contrary to the decision of the special study group of which I was a member, I have arranged for the general release of our report. I am grateful to Mr. Leonard C. Lewin for his invaluable assistance in making this possible, and to the Dial Press for accepting the challenge of publication. Responsibility for taking this step, however, is mine and mine alone. I am well aware that my action may be taken as a breach of faith by some of my former colleagues. But in my view, my responsibility to the society of which I am a part supersedes any self-assumed obligation on the part of 15 individual men. Since our report can be considered on its merits, it is not necessary for me to disclose their identity to accomplish my purpose. Yet I would gladly abandon my own anonymity if it were possible to do so without at the same time compromising theirs, to defend our work publicly if and when they release me from this personal bond. But this is secondary. What is needed now, and needed badly, is widespread public discussion and debate about the elements of war and the problems of peace. I hope that publication of this report will serve to initiate it. Letter of Transmittal. To the convener of this group, attached is a report of the special study group. Attached by you in August 1963. 1. To consider the problems involved in the contingency of a transition to a general condition of peace. 2. To recommend procedures for dealing with this contingency. For the convenience of non-technical readers, we have elected to submit our statistical supporting data totaling 604 exhibits separately, as well as a preliminary manual of the peace games method devised during the course of our study. We have completed our assignment to the best of our ability, subject to the limitations of time and resources available to us. Our conclusions of fact and our recommendations are unanimous. Those of us who differ in certain secondary aspects from the findings set forth herein do not consider these differences sufficient to warrant the filing of a minority report. It is our earnest hope that the fruits of our deliberations will be of value to our government in its efforts to provide leadership to the nation in solving the complex and far-reaching problems we have examined, and that our recommendations for subsequent presidential action in this area will be adopted. Because of the unusual circumstances surrounding the establishment of this group, and in view of the nature of its findings, we do not recommend that this report be released for publication. It is our affirmative judgment that such action would not be in the public interest. The uncertain advantages of public discussion of our conclusions and recommendations are, in our opinion, greatly outweighed by the clear and predictable danger of a crisis in public confidence, which ultimately publication of this report might be expected to provoke. The likelihood that a lay reader, unexposed to the exigencies of higher political or military responsibility, will misconstrue the purpose of this project, and the intent of its participants, seems obvious. We urge that circulation of this report be closely restricted to those whose responsibilities require that they be apprised of its contents. We deeply regret that the necessity of anonymity, a prerequisite to our group's unhindered pursuit of its objectives, precludes proper acknowledgement of our gratitude to the many persons in and out of government who contributed so greatly to our work. For the special study group, the signatures are withheld for publication, 30 September 1966. And the next part will be the introduction.